this style of comedy, this 70s and 80s style that just went by the wayside because
Smart
they started
buffoonery.
they stopped trying to put intelligence in it.
Yeah, they took the smart out of it.
Yeah.
It was just because it's a dick and fart humor's fine. Like, listen, hey, I'm not gonna knock the late '90s, early 2000s stuff.
Well, I am.
But that is far less of a quality product versus this.
Yeah, like
is what I'm getting.
Because we got to a point where like there is moments of some intelligence in the late '90s, like American Pie and things like that. But then we get more of the things like Not Another Teen Movie, which I know is not quite the same because that was strictly parody. But there's no intelligence to it.
Doesn't make it any less funny.
It's not
because it's just. I mean, doesn't make it more funny, right?
No, and I mean clearly they're taking off on things like Airplane, but there was intelligence to Airplane.
Yeah.
And much like this, there's intelligence to this, but this style of humor, the lowbrow humor, went completely stupid and no redeeming qualities. So this is that sweet spot that existed only in half of one decade and the 80s basically, and it's something that I love. I love that kind of stuff.
Now, I know you're MVP.
I don't think you do.
My MVP is going to be Harris.
Okay.
I just think he's the perfect bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
He has his own funny scenes, and the way he interacts with Mahoney, the way he interacts with Hooks, and just... G.W. is a great actor, too. So, like...
Yes.
And he is pretty much this in most of his films, but, like, here is, like, he plays the perfect fucking asshole.
He does.
And that's, again, like, most of the villains in these movies, as good as the movies are, the villains are really one-dimensional. At least he
had something to it. He always brought something to it with all of the villains that he does portray. I would normally give it to him. I really would. But I gotta give it to Tackleberry.
Really?
Fuck yes. He made me laugh every time he was on screen.
I honestly thought it was a lock for you for...
It would normally be
Dr. Monsignor Lavelle Jones.
It would normally be because I do enjoy his work. Because again, I enjoy his actual work, but I enjoy him as a stand-up, not an actor.
Yeah,
I like his performance. I don't like
the best scene in this movie for him was the video game scene where
it really was.
The game calls him, and he calls himself an asshole basically, and then the game takes over and kind of attacks him. His hand takes over and attacks him.
It's really good. But again, that's more of just his stand-up.
But then when you get to Tackleberry,
Tackleberry is just so amazing.
Like right at the end, we forgot to mention he's like banging his head against the car.
Like, what's wrong? He's like, all the gunplay. I didn't have anything.
Yeah, there was gunplay, sir, and he missed it all.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like it's brilliant.
Yeah,
it's brilliant. That's the way that they handle him is great, and he might be one of the few characters that, as they went forward, he was actually really interesting.
Yeah,
because they, just made him what he is.
So we're gonna get out of here. Next week's movie.
Yep.
We're going way back. Speaking of teen movies, to January 29th, 1999.
Yep.
For another staple of, like, I guess, 90s teen movies.
It is pretty much the 90s teen movie, I think.
She's All That.
Yes.
One of the, I think, main targets of Not Another Teen Movie was She's All That.
Yeah, pretty much.
Roughly. I think that was
the loose plot. Yeah, it was strictly from,
so we get all that 90s teen goodness. Your Rachel and Cooks and your Freddie Prinze Jr.'s.
Absolutely.
So we're going to get out of here. You were Steve.
You were Justin.
And we're way back and gone.
Asshole.